Today we're going to find out if AI can do a conceptual sketch better than me, an architect. What we're doing is we're pitting the new technology with me, the human aspect. The challenge, we're going to give it the same prompts in terms of the requirements of the client, and we're going to give us the same time limit and just see what the results are. This is AI versus architect. Let's go. Okay, this just got pulled up. This is the prompt that we received, and it's a little intimidating because this is out of the normal pattern on how I do things. So it's going to really test my abilities in terms of concentration and focus. And so we'll read through this, but just to let you know what I typically do when I do a pre-meeting with a client is we discuss all the general parameters of what they're looking for, which is essentially this list. But then before we even begin design, what I'm looking for is a site visit so I can really get a feel for the site and get an idea, the sun, the views, the climate, everything, the approach, what it feels like. And so since we don't have a site and I'm just doing stuff just out of my head, I'm going to try to invent one out of my head. However, let's just take a look at this. Spanish Revival Desert Home Sketch, a floor plan and elevation concept, location Scottsdale, Arizona. Okay, I've been to Scottsdale plenty of times, so I have some sort of idea in my head of what that area looks like. Homeowners, couples in their early 50s, both run businesses from home. Okay, fortunately, that's fairly typical for me. Hobby, she loves cooking regional cuisine, hosting large outdoor meals, needs a chef-style kitchen and adjacent patio with outdoor fireplace and grill. All right, so the cooking situation is absolutely critical for her. And I'm going to call that her realm. And that's how I begin to conceptualize these things when someone says that. And so visually, I'm beginning to think, okay, how is she going to flow and move? So the lifestyle requests. They prioritize indoor-outdoor living, want central courtyard to be daily use space, not just decorative, with covered arcades and small fountain. The entry should be modest and shaded through a wrought iron gate into a walled forecourt. The stairs should be tucked off to the side, visible but not dominant. Kitchen location, located at the rear corner, adjacent to both the dining and the covered outdoor terrace. Okay. Not directly next to the garage, but accessible via discrete hallway with pantry and mudroom. Sink centered on a window facing the courtyard fountain with plaster hood, open shelving flanking fireplaces. 3 total fireplaces. Number 1, in the main living room, centered on an arch, plaster wall, in the outdoor dining patio under a tiled beamed roof, in the primary bedroom designed with niche and traditional hearth. Okay, here's one issue as we begin this challenge. As we begin this thing, let me tell you just a couple challenges that I'm facing already, even though AI is not facing it because it thinks in terms of large language models. When it comes to the creative fields, what we're not doing is reading a textbook and a laundry list of everyone's requests. What we're doing is we're talking to them, and as we talk with you, the individual client, what we're doing is we're getting inside your head and being able to absorb the energy and the mentality and just the ideas that come from you. It's a very synergistic process, and there's no synergy with a piece of paper, just words. And so that's missing, putting me at a disadvantage. But anyway, we'll go with it, put this off to the side, and just use it as a reference because I'm going to need it as a reference because I don't memorize text. I memorize images, and I see imagery. So now that I've read through this, what I'm going to do is take the elements of it again. I'm going to read through it while I'm drawing. This is here, this is here. I'm going to be sketching in 2 different styles. So what we're going to do is we're going to illustrate how you can still utilize just a digital drafting tool to still be as creative as you would be otherwise. So the pre-drawing that I'm going to do is going to be in a dark pencil, and you won't be able to really read it. And then I'm going to overlay it with a white pencil once I hardline it and have a better idea of what this house is going to be, because I'm going to go conceptual first. That's what we call fat pen drawing, because what we're trying to do is the big ideas, the bright locations, and then we'll just tighten it up with a brighter pen or a more defined pen that grabs more of the visual attention. Oh, wow. Oh, this is actually super intimidating. I can do this with a client all day long, but this is weird because there's no context. All right. Press the timer, let the time begin. All right, so big ideas. one of the first things we need to figure out is where the garage is going to be located and how this enters. And so so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to set up some visual axes visually in my head in terms of where things are going. So I'm going to have an entry point. There's going to be an overall lot that this exists on, and I don't know exactly what size that's going to be. And so I'm going to have a forecourt, some living space. I'm going to have a rear court, and I need that to be surrounded. Since it's a courtyard, it needs to be surrounded by stuff. So a garage is going to be a great thing to surround a courtyard with that I can ornament one side. And so let's come in from the right side, and then let's offset this so we have a more interesting travel. And since they both work from home and run businesses, what we want is, if it was me and my wife, in all honesty, I'd want opposite sides of the house, right? And so we're going to have maybe an office on the back side looking into the back court, and an office looking into the kind of the front court. And so now the living spaces. So garage, we want kitchen, entry lifestyle, I want central courtyard to be daily use, but So the central is going to be daily use. We want to flow around it. So I want my office actually going directly onto the courtyard. I want cooking. And so this front courtyard, I think it would be super cool if you come in and it's windows and it doesn't go directly in, but you can actually see through the house. So if we can see through the house, and this is an arcade in the back, and then we go off to the side and do a side entry, and we can put a really epic stair kind of just right here on the side. And it could be a tower, it could be something like that, but it could be a terminal visual access for whatever this line is. And so we entry, come back here, line of windows goes into office. They're gonna need some sleeping quarters. So we need to throw a few bedrooms. Let's assume most bedrooms are upstairs. We'll assume the primary bedroom's on the main, and we're gonna put it down on this side since I have a little bit more room there. This is gonna be all my primary living space. So gonna have arch come through arch, gonna have fireplace. I'll have a fireplace. I'm gonna have a fireplace over here, and then this. Oh, but I want garage hall, and so I'm gonna separate the garage, put a hallway because I think they wanted it located rear corner adjacent to both the dining and the covered terrace. So the kitchen may be located right here, and I might come into the back side of the kitchen. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so now let's hardline some stuff, and I'll walk you through what's going on in my head. So I'm gonna start with, whoa, I can't have things go rogue on me here. All right, so timing. We've got whopping 2 minutes left, huh? Well, that doesn't make any sense. So let's do this super fast. And apparently I'm not gonna get the full concept, but what we're gonna get is something. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have garage in here. We're gonna come through this. We're going to come into a mudroom that will come out, and then I can have entrance into the mudroom there. We're gonna have a back pantries, which will be one of those butler style pantries, which will also have windows in the back with various other utilitarian things on that back side, with an office that comes off in that front courtyard area that will contain that front courtyard with a really nice gate in that section, and then a tower style entrance right here where that will be the front door, and this will be the front courtyard, and then a staircase right here that is on access to what would be a door or window that looks out into some cool feature that exists right here. This will be the primary kitchen. We'll have probably a double island situation. We'll have some really important things going on the backside. It's still squiggles, and we'll hardline this a little bit more. We're going to have a arcade that comes down, and this is actually harder to draw than you think, because one of the things when you're doing an arched arcade, and what we mean by an arcade is just arches, right, that you can see beyond. They have to be in a very specific order, and so it would exist around that with doors, French doors or something, or windows that just open up onto this, where all of this can be covered, and we can have that rear courtyard, a fountain in the middle, and possibly attached to a pool or a hot tub. And I've got 8 seconds, and that's as far as I got. This was too big. So I ran out of time. Apparently, I can't do it in the parameters, but I want to outline this a little bit more so you can just see what I was thinking. This is lame because right now it's still scribbles and we actually have to like turn it into, just hardline it a little bit more. But I guess one of the things that is funny is that most people be like, you just sketch that in 5 minutes and you're just erasing it. It's like, yeah, I'm just erasing. But anyway, in the end, I could spend more time doing the concept sketch, but I have something in my head. AI may have won on this one. Let's see. Bring it. So it took AI to make this in 3 minutes. I just pulled it up. I haven't seen it. I'm going to take a look at it and just react to what it is. This is a very traditional style Spanish revival. In all honesty, in terms of the overall aesthetics, it seems to work pretty good. I don't understand what's going on with some of the windows, but those are just AI details. And that's the wonderful thing about sketching in watercolor is, in the end, you're filling in the rest of the story. One of the issues that we have with photorealistic renderings is it's telling the whole story. And so everything has to be fully detailed. Whereas something like this, it's just your brain does it for you. Now, so this is interesting. So it interpreted the front courtyard not as an enclosed courtyard, but is just enclosed by a seat wall, which is totally fine. Totally fine. So we come into the door down here. First off, this and this do not match. So it looks like AI can produce cool renderings, but when it comes to trying to produce a floor plan that coincides with the rendering, doesn't do it. Because I'm missing this whole section right here that doesn't even exist in this drawing. However, you could turn this into a dining room if this came out down here. Now, in terms of the location of the kitchen, it looks like this is the kitchen. It said it wanted to be on the courtyard by the dining, and the dining is over here, so it's not even close to proximate. And it's on the very front of the house, which once again, you'd have to put a big giant countertop in front of those doors and windows since it can't figure out where my kitchen needs to go. So circulation in this particular plan, completely not a thing. You can't get out the front doors. Now the living space kind of makes sense. There is no outdoor courtyard in the back because courtyard's an arcaded courtyard. And so it completely failed on that. If the clients saw the rendering, they're like, oh, that'd be pretty. That's so cute. Yeah, I love it. However, the floor plan doesn't reflect the image. And so there's things you could fiddle with this particular plan, but it's not super useful yet. And I don't know what this is at all. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's supposed to be the upper floor. That doesn't make any sense. This is like a 5-year-old could do better than AI when it comes to floor plan design right now. So AI, you got a long way to go on your floor plan. Okay, I'm feeling a little better about myself now because I actually created something that you could really design and build, and it would be epic and awesome. This is mush. Cool. Right? I've got smiley faces here. Yeah, smiley face. That's cool. This, useless. So in the end, AI got a long way to go. I think I'm safe for now, but it'll be interesting to see once it begins to process more and more of the human element when it comes to design and floor plan. Well, thanks for joining. This has been an interesting discovery. Let's try it again. See what happens. We'll see you next time.